when I drive this ball down the freeway or whatever.
Freeway?
What's it called? It's a driveway. Is it the long way?
The fairway?
The fairway. What did I say? The
freeway? Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to RBM. This episode number 4, is unofficially brought to you by Chicken Cock.
Chicken Cock
Whiskey. It is pretty fucking good. And god damn, that is a good name.
It is not just your wife's nickname for your dick.
Yeah. 2 of 3 of us are drinking this. One of us is drinking a recently hated on beverage.
I'm an ally.
Dare I say canceled?
You may say canceled.
Dare I say canceled?
You may say canceled.
It's Mr. Bud Light.
It's a tall boy Bud Light. Okay, now he's going to pour himself a glass of
all
Chicken
because
Cock
of that.
and join the party.
All because of
I'm
that.
being shamed for my...
Yeah, and as we enter this episode, guys, one of our focuses for today is just going to be kind of shooting the shit with each other, learning about each other's hobbies, what kind of helps us get into these mental states where we're feeling good about the day-to-day, the grind, going to work happy instead of just being like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
So it's just what, steps we take to kind of help ourselves and, things we enjoy doing in our off time.
Yeah, things to kind of take your mind off the day-to-day, right? To,
exactly.
Escape what's going on.
Reality.
Escape. That's a whole different kind of
also outside of just drinking whiskey.
But no, yeah, you get to put your focus on something other than, work and home. Like it gives you an outlet. But yeah, that's kind of, it's really important to have that.
Yeah. And I think the nice thing about having a hobby is it allows your mind to singularly focus on one item. Yeah.
Whiskey got to
that was a tough word to say.
You're
right
fighting
now.
it. I thought you were going to vomit actually.
Yeah.
Right
being
there.
able to singularly focus on one thing allows your mind to just kind of clear itself of all the stress of the day.
Sure.
So having a hobby, I feel, is a very important step just into mentally being more productive, being happier, and just not feeling like shit sometimes.
Right.
Have you ever not had an outside support hobby, whatever you want to call it? Like you ever just been part of your day to day and you just forget to do something that entertains you?
Oh yeah.
Or that an escape, an outlet?
Absolutely. I went through a long time without having a hobby.
What would you do?
Other than, I'm big movie buff and watching movies and stuff like that.
So let me guess your schedule.
All right.
Wake up.
Poop.
Okay.
That's everybody's schedule.
Go to work, come back home, furiously masturbate and go to bed.
Yeah, there's a little TV in there too, but yeah, pretty much.
Before, after, or during?
All 3.
Okay.
TV's just on.
You said furious.
That's so the neighbors don't hear me.
Yeah. Touche.
Gotta have that background noise.
That's right. Touche. Ambient noise, some white noise. Just.
But
yeah. I mean, there's been times when I don't have anything going on and I feel like I'm just in a shittier spot in my life. Right.
Yeah. It's kind of spiraling.
You kind of wake up and you're like, man, what is going on? I'm so stressed. Yeah.
It's kind of, the whole SSDD, same shit, different day. You get into that rut if you don't have some type of outlet, some type of hobby to get you out of that. And, probably, doing, I think I said this on the first episode, having this as a hobby, having this to put my full focus on podcasting has definitely kind of got me out of that rut a little bit.
Yeah, really. And we can see it for sure. Just in the text thread we have going, and just you in general just seem like you got a bigger smile. You're more, you're just like happy. You're like, oh, we're doing podcast shit today, right? I'm like, Chris, it is 7 a.m. I went to a concert last night. Could you not?
We're hung over. Please stop.
Yeah, I am always the number one or first person to text in the day. Like, all right, so we going over stuff? What's going on? Like, how's that editing going?
Yeah. And speaking of that, we did have to switch to a different text thread just because of me and the amount of shit I get at work. And then you guys texting in between, and then me starting to miss texts from customers. I'm like, all right, guys, we got to figure something else. I need a different ding on my phone And this is also because I have an Android. I can't control shit like iPhones can and text
fucking
message.
nerd.
Yeah.
Loser.
So now we've got a nice group text that I can see and ignore for an hour and then go, okay, I got some time. Now
So that was his whole reason. He just wanted to ignore us.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
During the day, during work hours, my job is 50% on the phone.
Wait.
So it's just like,
David, whenever you get in that moment where me and Chris are texting a lot during your day, what are you doing? Like when you receive this, like what's going through your head?
well, usually it's usually like 15 to 20 back to back. So I see the first one and then I just put my phone on silent because if somebody calls me, my phone will light up. But if I see the text and slide it off, it'll vibrate, but it won't light up anymore. So I know it's just you guys. And then
You can mute. You know that, right?
yeah, that's what it does.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not the same as like the way an iPhone mutes. Yeah.
Like a real person.
So like I said, I can slide the text off and it'll stop lighting my phone.
I just
up,
imagine
but
you take your phone and just fucking throw it at the wall, you know?
there are points in time where I'm just like, I need you guys to stop right now because I am talking to 4 different clients through text message right now. And I've missed 3 text messages in a row.
And half the time it's just us throwing memes and dumb videos. And
Yeah, it's not important.
Not important at all.
Not important to this
Exactly.
thing we're doing here.
Yeah, you want to talk about happiness. You saying something about chicken cock? Like, get ready for some chicken cock tonight. Like you sounded so much happier than you had before, and we just started this Google chat. So I think that played a big part in your happiness.
It does. And then like one of the things with my work is I realized I needed to silence my emails because I get 350 emails a day.
That's it.
And only about 10 of them pertain to me. So I was like, oh, I will just check this occasionally. I don't need notifications or dings.
Do you get
or
a lot of
anything
those?
like that.
There's a lot of singles in your area emails.
No, I do not.
Okay.
So I guess there's
asking
not-
for a friend.
There's probably not a lot of singles in my area, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. Well, whatever.
I get a lot of those, but no.
Well, Chris, back on topic.
Yeah, let's get back.
Right.
Do we
So,
even have a topic?
I don't even know anymore.
Hobbies, you're the one that said it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's right.
So besides your workday, fiercely masturbating, let's go back. What was your feeling like before this podcast then? Before you had any outside activities or a focus? What was your kind of mindset there? And what did you realize was a transition of actually like finding something that interests you?
As far as like getting into podcasting, like before and then getting into podcast.
Yeah, kind of like your mindset
Yeah.
beforehand where you're just focused on work solely, maybe watch a little TV, you go to sleep, get up and do it again.
What was
and
the-
then now you get home and you're like, all right, I gotta look up some podcast stuff for this
Yeah.
week. I gotta get some info, gotta get questions ready,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
It's been a huge turnaround. You know, I was in a rut, man. I was not in a good place for a good while.
Like what?
Well, you know, just kind of, I was depressed, man, you know, in that rut, you know, hamster wheel spinning and just, you know, kind of staying in the same place, you know, literally, like you said, go to work, wake up, go to work, come home,
Furiously masturbate.
and then
I guess we're just gonna keep adding that in.
keep going to bed, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. And that was my day. And then on the weekend,
You rinse good.
and then, you know, on the weekends, you know, I would go out to the bars and
Furiously.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, folks. This episode's starting a little rough.
Avoid police.
Yeah, that whiskey's getting to you guys. Sticking with my beer here.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I don't know. You know, going back to it on the weekends, you know, I would just go out to bars and drink heavily on the weekends. And of course, you know, at the time you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. But in actuality, it's just not.
It's a quick, like,
Yeah, you can have just as much
You wake
fun
up the next day and you're just like,
dead.
the fuck
Yeah.
am I doing? You know? And so having this podcast and doing the weight loss stuff and, you know, being able to fully focus on this kind of takes my brain away from not the bad thoughts or anything like that, but like it kind of gets you out of that rut, gets you thinking positively, have a more positive outlook on life and stuff like that.
It almost gives you something to look forward to at the end of the day. You're like, all right, I just got to get through this day at work because then I can go do that thing I love.
Right.
Now I got to go do that thing that I've been thinking about all day. Yes, I got to go research for my podcast.
Research.
I gotta put notes in Google Sheets that David will never read.
Yeah.
I mean, those kind of things. I know you guys get a kick out of that stuff.
You never check anything.
Literally.
I did today. Well, it took me forever to
What's
fucking
the
log
password?
Yeah.
You don't need a password.
in. No, I needed to sign into the account on my phone.
Yep.
Because I had it on the computer. I was like, oh, I don't need it on my phone. And then I was like, I need this on my phone if I'm going to participate in this program.
David's the tech guy, but couldn't get into the Google Sheets.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's really easy. I just need the password.
Everything's good now. You're good now.
For everybody, the password is password.
Well, let me ask you this, Chris, is during that time for however long it's been going on, you're going to this rut. You're like, okay, I'm doing the same stuff. There's no real benefit, right? You realize there's a little bit of takeaway and positive, like you're maybe at a bar or club, you're talking to people, it's fun, but then you go home and it's just dead. And you're like, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. Have you thought about doing anything before the
Before the podcast,
in terms
coming
of
up.
hobbies, getting out, doing whatever?
Yeah,
Or-
in my younger years, I would go fishing a lot with parent or with my dad, and go out to the coast and stuff like that. I've always wanted to get it back into fishing, but that costs a lot of money to buy the equipment.
Sure.
As we bought all this equipment, I'm dealing with that. Yeah, I mean, fishing would be one of those things. Something outdoors. What you got, Dave?
I just got to add onto the expensive side of fishing. One of my Valentine's Day gifts 4.5 years ago, 4 years and 3 months ago.
Are you just going to brag about Valentine's Day to a single guy? Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let the boy watch.
This is how married Valentines go. Is she gave me a token. She gave me a fishing lure. And she's like, I'm going to take you to Academy and I'm going to buy you any fishing pole you want. And I was like, fuck yes, that's awesome. It's been 4 years and 3 months. I don't have a fishing pole.
Wait,
and I've gone and looked at them before.
She never.
No, never got that fishing
Wait, you guys
pole.
went there though?
Oh, we've been there many times. And I've looked at him and be like, hey, remember
You just
Valentine's
can't-
Day? She's like, we're not doing that today. I was like, oh, come on.
But you couldn't decide what you wanted?
Oh, no.
Or she verbally told you, but it never came. You never.
Yeah, it just never came to fruition. Yeah, there's that word.
Yeah.
I was right there.
So fishing doesn't really interest you.
No, I do enjoy watching people fish and drinking beer with them.
Just like I enjoy you guys playing golf and me being in the cart.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something about golfing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Let's go.
I think I might have mentioned it to you guys, but let's see. So my parents live like an hour away here, which is awesome, right? Grew up in Iowa. They retired, moved down here. It's awesome. But my cousin, who is now joining the Air Force, checked in last Sunday to San Antonio, right? So first time that this trifecta has been here. My dad golfs every goddamn day. And I haven't golfed since I was like 14. Okay. So it was one thing we were putting together. We're like, yeah, we might. Before my cousin came down, I asked my dad, hey, what do you think about doing? What could we do? And he's like, well, let's just go golf. And I was like, cool. I'd love to do that. Right. Well, my phone heard me and put on advertisements or sponsors on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I don't even know. And there's these golf balls that have gunpowder.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
And the videos, this is why I was like, I got to do this. Because anytime someone goes to hit the ball, everyone on the outside waiting for someone, like a normal sound of someone hitting a golf ball, it's like a gun going off and they all twitch like, "Bah!" So I'm actually Monday going down. I'm going to play golf with my dad and my cousin, and they don't know, but I'm going to ask my cousin or dad, be like, hey, can you record me when I drive this ball down the freeway or whatever?
Freeway?
What's it called?
It's a
Driveway? Is it the long way?
the fairway?
The fairway. What did I say? The
freeway?
Yeah, the fairway.
I mean, that was pretty close. It started with an F and ended in way. But.
Yeah. That tells you I haven't done this in a long time, but I was close enough. All right. But I have those golf balls downstairs ready to be used, and I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out.
Oh man, you definitely got to take that video and then let us hear what that sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Bring the video. So
I just hope that there's a reaction. I hope my cousin, I hope my dad's, and it'd be like, I'll probably tell him like, hey, can you record me? But, get my dad in it.
I feel like you're going to react too. You're going to hit that ball and you're like,
I'm going to have like a flashback to Nam. Like,
probably give it like 12 or 13 holes and see if they hit a bad drive and then be like, oh, toss me a ball.
Yeah. Do I do it first or do I wait till?
No. Wait until like the
first tee.
Yeah. Take it to the back nine to see if you get an opportunity when they're on the tee box and they shank one into the woods. They're like, toss me another ball. Then you toss them that ball.
Here's the thing is if I give it to them, because you have to have it with that side there. It's not like the whole ball's covered in this. There's a small.
Okay. So you got to hit
like
it. You have to have it set.
Yeah. There's a button, a dime size little deal. And you got to put that towards where you have the club.
It's like, here, I'll set it up for you.
Yeah, that's not obvious.
I thought about that too. I'm like, no, don't. I got it. I got it.
There you go. Do some stretches.
And they go, what's that? I'm like, don't worry about it. So, but I'm excited. That's Monday. That's in a couple days.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to do it, and I would wait like maybe
so not be close to the actual clubhouse and make sure we're in it, before doing it.
I would say like probably hole 5 through 7 somewhere.
They're called like mock golf balls, like speed, I guess.
Mock balls.
Might be mock balls. I don't know. But yeah,
that we came up with $1 million idea calling something mock ball.
Yeah. Be the next Amazon, Uber.
That's what Maria calls David's.
My dick or my balls?
Moving on.
I was gonna say testicles. I don't know why. Yeah,
that would have worked also, but you were about to say dick.
Yeah.
Well, back on things here.
Back on time. I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot today.
Yeah. So, Chris, where we left off here. So, the podcast, what has it done for you in terms of changing your day to day? And why do you think it's important now that you're experiencing something new in your life that has, to your mind, like purpose, right?
Yeah. The whole thing about it is like I said, you're stuck in that hamster wheel, and getting out of it, you start to do nothing but positive things. You get positive, it's going to sound so dumb, but positive vibes, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's a cascading thing. So it's like, once you start doing something better and bettering yourself, you go further and further and further, more positivity comes out of it to eventually, hopefully bettering my life. Hopefully I stick with everything that's going on. Hopefully we keep doing this for, 10 years. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I hope only 10 because we get so big that we can all retire and live on our own islands.
Islands.
Oh, yeah. That's the goal, right? We want islands?
I guess.
I was thinking ranch land and you guys be my neighbors.
Well,
like
put an
20 miles down the road.
How about just
put an island in a ranch?
How about just a cul-de-sac?
An island in a ranch?
Yeah. You build a lake. You put an island in the middle of it.
In the minute.
That's
you put an island in the middle of a moat? Like you have a moat?
Build a moat.
Yeah, we could build
Bert Kreischer style,
Would you put any
Does he have a moat?
He built a moat around one of his houses.
Oh, he tried to, yeah.
He tried to. Oh, that's right. He tried to.
It didn't work out very well.
Who was it?
Bert Kreischer.
Really?
Yeah. He talks about that one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Did not work out.
Well, obviously.
He was just he was down here at Armadillo Den yesterday.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like doing stand up?
No, he was just
chilling out.
Chilling.
Yeah.
God.
And one of the bartenders from Moon. I don't know if we're gonna have this on here, but one of the bartenders from over at Moon Tower took a picture with him and posted it.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man.
Cool. But back on topic.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. We're just going to be all over the place.
Yeah. But I mean, still hobbies, right? So, it's all about bettering yourself and being more positive and stuff like that. I mean, what do you guys do? Let's not focus on me in this podcast, but I mean, what do y'all, I mean, we kind of went into you last 2 episodes ago about the million step challenge and all the challenges and races that you do. What else
doing
you get?
some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your newest hobby right now?
Yeah, the newest one, I think we touched on it last time, was the rucking. So got into rucking, just, carrying a heavy load and walking, basically.
That's what I do. I carry a heavy load.
I was thinking something different.
Yeah. I also carry one of those, but it doesn't weigh as much.
Yeah.
So basically injured my knee in the ultra marathon. And I was like, well, I can't run. What am what am I going to do? Like I need that in the mornings to kind of set the tone for the day, set my mood, make sure I'm not just like irritable and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, well, let's throw 35 pounds on and take the dogs on a walk for 4 miles. And then I was like, all right, well, 35 pounds is getting a little easier.
Sure.
Then upped it to, well, it's supposed to be 45 pounds, but BCG, shout out to BCG.
BCG.
That
is
big.
It's like academies.
Okay.
It's like Hill Country Fair for academy.
What's it stand for? BCG.
Big cock gamer?
Birth control glasses. I don't.
Birth control glasses?
It's a military thing. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's the issued ugly glasses. So BCGs is what you call them. Birth control glasses, because no
I
one
get
wants
that.
to.
Yeah. So now,
like the ones I'm wearing.
Yeah. No, those are good. Those are great.
yeah. So during the injury, I was like, all right, I'll start rucking. Got an invite to do a 4-day backpacking trip through the Colorado mountains. I was like, all right, well, I got to carry 37-ish pounds for 4 days or 40 miles. Shouldn't be too difficult, minus, the whole climbing 2 mountain part. And so I just started adding weight, and now we're doing 60 pounds for 4 miles every morning, and then doing another 2 to 4 in the afternoon, not with weight, just because it's 105 degrees right now in Texas.
Whenever you take it off, do you feel like you can jump and float?
Oh, you feel like you're floating.
Yeah.
When you walk. It's an awesome feeling for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh right now?
Two.
No. 2
209. Nah, so I weighed in this morning at 187.2.
Wow. So you're putting an extra 60 pounds. So you're like walking around 240.
I walk around,
250
between 240 and 250.
You were almost right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking around with the weight vest. Yeah. So
right.
I feel like for just building up my joints from the injury, from the strain in my knee, that I'm getting, I was actually at the end of my 3-mile walk this afternoon. I was like, all right, I'm going to do just a little 1/4 mile run, see if I can feel anything in my knee while I do this. And so I ran, didn't feel anything. So I'm optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic. So I'm not doing any running until after I get back from this Colorado trip, because I don't want to risk tweaking it just a little and having a sore knee for 4 days climbing these mountains. But so when I get back, then we'll get back on the bandwagon for that ultimate goal, that 50-mile ultra.
Well, I got a question. So you've been physical for a while, especially more recent since I've known you.
Yeah, I've had this physical form.
This physical form.
For a while.
Yes. But you've actually gone to extremes in terms of working out and doing these things, these goals, reaching these, I don't know. These
accolades.
Yeah. It's pretty insane what you've been doing.
I don't think accolades is the right word, but just
you get medals at the end of them.
Yeah, you get participation trophies.
Yeah. No. I mean,
my medal for my ultra says finisher. They're like,
is that like Mortal Kombat? Like finisher?
No, it's like high five. You finished.
Yeah, it's just
You
like after having sex,
Good
you're
job.
like finished.
Yay!
I finished. Did you? No, but I did.
No, but before you took on all these, crazy challenges, I would put it that way, right? Is what difference in your mindset or how you've thought or felt throughout your days before you started this, but also how you feel now? What's the difference there? Like you're doing these things. Do you get used to it? And if you don't do these things, like you're addicted to it, you start feeling off, or where's the benefit, from doing these things?
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know how to make this long story short. So this is going to be a medium story. So when I started doing all this stuff, running, working out, I was like 230 pounds. I didn't look fat, but I was a little chubster.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, if I'm ever in my mind, I was like, if I'm going to meet somebody, you got to do something for yourself.
Sure.
So I was like, I need to focus on myself. So I started running, and my motivation at the time was like, all right, you need to drop some weight. You need to lose about 40 pounds.
You need to get laid. And to do that, you need to drop weight.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was at. Yeah. This is, I was at 23, 24, something like that.
Sure.
And then, so as you get get into it, get a year in, 2 years in, your body's like, okay, yeah, we run 3 miles a day. Great. And I didn't have a motivation to go any farther because 3 miles was tough. So I was like, all right, well, how am I going to continue this health benefit and mental benefit, which was kind of like an after effect. And I was like, all right, well, let's do the cap 10K. So let's do 6.2 miles. So it's a little over 6 miles, 10K.
Yeah. 5K is like three.
I think it's three.
Right?
I think it's 3.1 and 6.2.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we'll train for that. So you got to add some distance, and then you finish. You're like, oh fuck, I did 10K. I was like,
that's pretty cool.
All right, well, what's next? Oh, well, we'll do it again next year. And then you kind of fall back into that rut. You're kind of running, kind of not. And then so in the last couple of years, I was like, all right, well, if you're going to keep doing this to stay in shape and live forever, like your wife it tells you you're going to, you need to have a motivation to do it.
Sure.
So that's where I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do this 1,000,000 step, which I think we discussed. I don't know if we talked about on the podcast, but I'm going to do again in October.
Wait.
Yeah. So
wait.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again in October with a different pedometer, something that should be a little better
accurate.
Recording. Yeah, I have a feeling that the watch I'm wearing that's counting them is not, like if I take a shower, I might get 100 steps. I'm like, I'm not walking anywhere. I'm just washing my hair.
I got a question. I don't know if you thought about this, but I'm sure they've thought about it. It's within the program, the technology, cool. But I have an app on my phone that tracks how far I'm walking or running, right? MyFitnessPal app or something.
Right. Yeah.
When it's in my pocket, my leg is
swinging back and forth. Yeah.
They account for that, right?
Yeah, that's what it's using to track it.
I know, but
it's that gyroscopic motion.
I haven't looked it up, but for the life of me, honestly, as I'm walking, I'm constantly thinking, how did they account for my leg swinging? And how is that not tracking more? Like you actually walked 3 miles instead of 1.5.
Magic.
I know. There's probably some easy solution, but I don't know if you ever got into that,
So I have actually recently got into that. And so a lot of these watches and trackers have an average gait. So when you enter your height and your weight, they can calculate how long your step is.
Oh.
And so, but they give it an average. And if you don't measure your own gait, so what they want you to do is you go out, walk 100 meters. So like on a track, do a 100-meter walk at standard pace and then adjust. So let's say you take whatever 50 steps, you put in 50 steps for 100 meters. It gives you an average of whatever that is. Then it'll be able to track distance per step. So
it's very scientific. Not going to go into it, but
yeah,
exactly.
But a lot of them are really just going for the back and forth. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's when they're counting steps, when you're doing step counting.
It's just one of those things where I want to know the answer, but I haven't looked it up because I want to use my brain power a little bit. I haven't figured out.
Yeah. Most of them actually use GPS for distance.
I'm sure instead of it tracking, it's like, it's just tracking you.
It's using multiple GPS satellites to go, you walk from here to here. That's exactly this far.
Correct.
If you follow that route.
Correct. Yeah.
Dude, isn't that insane that we can do that with GPS to a phone nowadays? I don't know. It's just weird. I was thinking about that the other day. There's so many satellites out there, and this phone.
Have you seen the deal of how many satellites? It doesn't put it into perspective. It actually looks really cluttered,
right?
Because it doesn't actually.
There's a lot of space.
It's hard to imagine the actual size, so they're very spaced out. I'm sure, but it's a crazy amount.
It's insane. You know what it reminds me of is have y'all have seen that movie WALL-E, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna say WALL-E, right?
Yeah, exactly. Where they have to bust through all that.
Yeah,
that's one of the best fucking cartoon movies ever.
Yeah, but it's kind of
really
like Idiocracy, where you're kind of like going, we're probably gonna be here.
Pretty close to
right down this path.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy if we go down that path.
Man, I'm ready for my hovering seat, bro. I don't care.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
No, you're not. You just started a weight loss journey.
But if everybody's like me,
no, Chris, no. God damn it. All right. Well, beyond that, you're very invested in woodworking.
Correct.
And
even made this table.
You even made the table that we use today. I think it's all right.
Thanks, I guess.
would have done a little bit better, but
you don't even have tools. Your tools are a pink
No,
Barbie set with a plastic hammer.
Listen, Linda.
Don't ask me about
listen.
my tools.
Yeah.
You don't have any tools.
Yeah.
Do I have a hammer?
Well, I was trying to be nice.
Like a cabinet hammer. It's smaller, doesn't do anything really.
Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda.
So, how'd you get into that? What sparked your interest?
Oh, growing up, power tools are just awesome. So watch my dad do it. He kind of taught me that stuff, and then I just took it a little bit.
What's the
further.
first thing you made?
First thing I made?
What's the first thing you made? With the help of your dad, obviously, I'm assuming. Because
I wouldn't.
here, son, handle the saw.
I guess. I mean, I probably helped around like
A bong.
like random house things that needed to be done. That would
Were
probably.
you in
be-
Boy Scouts or anything like that?
I was in Cub Scouts for a little
Did
bit.
you guys make those race cars or anything out of wood and stuff?
Yeah, I made one of those.
Yeah.
That's not really making anything. That's like shaving some wood. I think the first thing I ever built was like ramps and boxes for like skateboarding, rollerblading, and shit like that while I was growing up. So
You made ramps?
yeah,
That's pretty dope.
yeah, not super nice ones like you see at a
No,
skate
just
park,
like a
but,
base and then the ramp itself type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
some
I
plywood
never
and
got
just-
into the curved ramps, but then mostly we were making like grind boxes. So you make like an 8-foot long box, put poles and metal on top so
Sure.
you can jump up and grind on it.
You,
and
you
stuff
were
like
really
that.
into rollerblading, black.
Yeah, we
Dan.
don't need to discuss,
Black Dan.
we don't need to discuss that.
I really want to discuss that.
Let's be real.
Rollerblading was popular when I did it.
Rollerblading?
No, it was cool.
I remember being in middle school and looking in skate magazines and looking at rollerblades, the grind. I don't know the terminology here, but like the actual like extreme skating, not like, okay, mom, I'm going to go rollerblading. It's like you had your Jico jeans on, doing like 900s and stuff and grinding.
Right.
I was interested in that. I never owned a pair because I didn't have that money and my parents didn't want to spend that. And I respect that. But is that what you were into?
Yeah, I did it. I actually competed.
What?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I did a couple competitions, like amateur competitions around here in town.
Were you decent
I placed. I got third in one of them.
out of 3? Or
No, I got third out of like, I think it was like
5.
20 something people. I think it was like 15, 20 people.
What was your
Wow.
best trick?
Yeah.
I wasn't like,
Hold on. What'd you call it?
no, so
I jumped 3 inches.
yeah, so they judged you on different things. There's like tricks. So I actually had a buddy that got second in that competition. He didn't land a backflip, but you get points for trying.
Did he make it?
Oh, I mean, he crashed.
Is he
But-
okay? Did he?
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Did he walk away?
Yeah, he's a
Or
photographer.
skate away.
He's a photographer now. He's not in the X Games, so.
okay.
But no. So the big thing I could do above everybody else is opposite of what Chris said, is jump 3 inches in the air. I could actually jump really far and really high. So I would do huge transitions that other people couldn't do. So I'd jump from one ramp over a ramp and then land on another ramp. And then,
Whoa.
when you're in the air, you do some sort of
Yeah.
grab. So like
Yeah.
stale fish is one that it's like you bring your leg up and one of them goes straight out.
You ever do the starfish? I'm assuming that's when you jump in the air and you go, woo! And you spread your arms and legs.
That's when you're about to crash.
Okay.
On your stomach.
All right.
Because you're like, oh shit.
The Patrick Star,
So no, I did that.
I never
It was-
knew that.
Yeah. So I just do really, really big jumps with minimal trick into it.
Sure.
But because nobody else could do that same thing, then,
You were unique.
I would place a little
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whoa.
That's a hobby from way back, huh?
Yeah, that was fun.
Why'd
man.
you stop it? Life?
I don't know if you watched any of the X Games, but they were like, hey guys, this is not cool anymore. So we're not going to do this. And I was like, okay.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they got like, what do you call
Oh,
Scooters.
scooters?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got
Scooters
like,
are in the X Games. now.
Yeah. So,
Well, no, basically what happened is I switched over to skateboarding and tried to learn that. And that's why my ankles and knees crack as I walk, because they're,
yeah.
Well, dude, that's we're making fun of you about the rollerblading stuff, but like looking back when I was younger, yeah, I used to rollerblade because that was the easier thing to do because I tried skateboarding and was god awful at it.
Sure.
That and like BMX biking.
Man.
I tried that for a while, doing like flatland tricks. They used to have those competitions where you go
Ooh.
around, You jump on the front wheel and back the bike up.
What bike did you guys have?
I had a dyno comp.
I had a Huffy.
Yeah. I wanted a mongoose, but I
Yeah.
again,
I actually had a dyno comp,
dyno.
which was a big brand back then.
It was.
And then my friend got a Schwinn. Like a Schwinn BMX bike.
Schwinn.
And I was like, oh, that's so dope.
Man.
I ended up selling that bike for like, I think it was like $200, and now those things are worth like $700 or $800.
Dude,
God,
I remember learning how to spin my handlebars 360. You guys ever learn that?
yeah.
You're riding along, right? And then
Dude, riding bikes back when you were young, wasn't that like the most free and like coolest thing in the
I
world?
used to ride everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I ride bikes now, and I'm like, how did I do this all day as a
Yeah.
kid? I get like a mile in, I'm like, fuck me.
So when we were younger, I don't know the accuracy of this, but I've heard my brother say it, and my mom was there, but my brother accidentally took some steroids when he was younger. And we were riding bikes, and there's a part where it's like a steep hill, and he was just like and he was just taking the world on by storm. And I guess he accidentally took some steroids, just gave him a ton of energy, and he was just booking it. Just booking it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
My brother did the opposite on rollerblades. He was going down the hill, hit a manhole, and he missed out on the Hershey Chocolate Factory tour because he had burns all over his body, just road rash everywhere.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Wasn't wearing any pants, I guess, or
Oh, it just got ripped off. He had a shirt, and I don't know if he had pants or shorts on, but it was mostly on his stomach. His shirt just kind of like ripped off as he was rolling down this hill.
well,
It was because that was our big thing when you're on rollerblades. You're like, you try to find the biggest hill in the neighborhood, and you're like, all right, who's going down it?
yeah.
So I went down first, missed the manhole. He went down.
Jesus.
Yikes.
He just keeps going. Ah.
That's kind of what happened. It was like,
Dude, not to get, I guess, crazy here. I don't want to tell a sick story necessarily, but I was on a skateboard on my stomach. You know,
Yeah.
I was pushing with my hands on the
Mhm.
ground, and my finger got stuck in the wheel.
oh shit.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, and it made that, sound. I was like, God, like you hit it like a pebble, God. And it hurt a little bit, but I was like, okay. It's one of those times where you didn't know, like it didn't start hurting until you looked at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And I finally looked at my finger. This is like almost a minute or two went by. Okay. It wasn't like immediate, like, I looked at my finger, and my fingernail was off.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
And the worst feeling to date. I think I was like 9, 10 years old. I don't know how old I was, but oh my God. And long story short, went to the hospital, and the doctor came in. He's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah. I'm like, I'm okay. He grabbed like a tissue, and he put it on my finger, and he started scraping it. And I was holding in a scream, and he goes, oh, your fingernail's off.
Oh, he didn't even
And
realize
I looked at my mom, and I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, I was so pissed at that doctor. He's like, oh yeah, we'll take care of that. And I was like, how'd you not know what was going on? I just told you before you examined me. But yeah.
I mean, worst fall. I think my worst fall. So we lived in where they still live there, my parents, but in a real hilly place. We have this, we live at the middle of a giant hill. So we would go to the very top of the hill and just like book it so you can go the fastest.
On what?
On bikes.
Okay.
On bikes. And so I remember one time, and because we live on a hill, the driveways were elevated. So we would go, as fast as we could, and then go into the neighbor's yard and just like jump the driveway into the, it was like a natural ramp. I remember one time, I'm going down the hills, like 4 or 5 o'clock, going down the hill, flying, and I jump it, lose control, and just like slam hard into a parked car.
What?
Yeah, parked car.
The front?
Rolled
Or back or what?
Like to the side of it, and rolled over the hood, and instantly I was like 10 years old. I'm like, shit. I look at my buddy. I'm like, I'm gone. And I fucking ran to my parents' house.
Left the bike?
Left the fucking bike. I run to my parents' house. I run up to their room. I'm like, I didn't do it. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Bye. And so they get a call from the neighbor.
They saw you?
Yeah, the neighbor was there. They were home. Their car was there. They get a call from the neighbor because
crashing into a car at 28 miles an hour.
They're like, yeah, this fucking happened. And ooh, man. Like I was hurt. Obviously, like you're going through all the adrenaline of like shit happening, but I was hurt. Sure. Oh man, that was not a fun couple weeks after that.
So in your takeaway from this, how did this help you mentally?
Learn to lie better.
Yeah. Good point.
Survive.
We talked about your brother. What's your worst Phil?
Worst fall. I mean, doing the rollerblading and stuff, there was a bunch of bad ones. I can't.
There's just so many.
I can't really think
There's just
of
so
like
many.
a specific one that would have been worse than another one. I've had plenty that put me out of commission for a month or so.
Broken bones or anything?
Yeah, I broke my wrist, but that was...
I've never broke anything. I've fractured, but I've never broke anything.
That was just jumping over a railing because I was excited about a wakeboard. I just didn't realize there was a 6-foot drop on the other side of the railing, which I should have, because why would there be a railing if the ground is level on the other side?
You think?
Yeah. I mean, there could have been a few shots and beers involved in that one too, though.
How old were you?
Ooh,
14.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the worst falls is catching a front edge on a wakeboard at 28 miles an hour.
What do you mean catching a front edge?
So when you're behind a boat, you're leaning back on your heels as you cut, or you're leaning.
Sure.
You got your arm.
Yeah, when you're turning, you're putting more weight in the back to turn.
So if you're on your heels, the boat's going
straight
24, 25 miles an hour. You're cutting across the water, across the wake, probably at around 30. And then if that front of your board catches, you just go, you literally just face plant, and water feels exactly like they say. It feels like cement, concrete.
Yeah.
So it's just like, bam. And you're just like, pick me up. Just, I'm done.
Wake me up. Wake me up inside.
Yeah. Those are some of the worst ones. I've had a couple falls on mountain bikes where like bikes have broken and, you know, you're bleeding, but they're not. I mean, those are usually more slow motion.
Sure.
You just like your wheel gets stuck in a rock and the bike doesn't stop moving. You just slowly go up over the handlebars. You're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
It's happening.
No. No.
I've had a few of those. I've had a few where I've rolled down hills on mountain bikes.
Damn.
Some of the worst are just like rolling your ankle in a run.
Sorry, I'm just imagining you rolling down a hill going,
It's kind of how it goes. It's more like shit. God, no, damn it.
Chris Farley.
We're walking back
down the hill.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So kind of getting back on the freeway.
The freeway.
I forgot we were talking about golf at one point.
Yeah, that's funny.
So what about you, Joey? What you got hobby wise, man?
You know, the one thing that stuck with me for the longest time has been video games. I've done everything. I've been very, athletic in my life. As
Nerd
I said,
alert.
Nerd alert. I've done the whole bike. I've rollerbladed. I've done many things.
You did.
I've done, but video games is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I played it when I was younger with my dad, like Mario. He had a Game Boy, Tetris. To me, I've always been like, it's exciting playing a game, right? It's like watching a movie. It takes you out of reality for a little bit.
Right.
But also too, it's like, for me, it's like achieving something. So it's a mixture of many things, but in the end, it's like, I achieved this, right? I completed that.
Right.
I remember the first time I realized that there was online gaming. It wasn't just playing a campaign or like Mario, you do stages, right? And that's it. But you could play online with other people. And that was such a game changer. Like, I'm sure most people can relate, but your significant other hates it when you play so many video games. But that's my go-to is video games. That's
What do you
always been
play?
my jam.
What are you playing now?
I mean, if I had to, I'd probably say most of my time is spent with Call of Duty.
I think that's most people.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of very popular, amazing games out there, but Call of Duty is where it's at. It sucks where it's at right now.
Does it take you back to your army days?
It really, that's where I learned about online. I was like, oh, what is this? Right? Like, oh yeah, we're playing online. I was like, online? What is that?
That's where I left video games. As soon as it went online, I was like,
really?
I don't.
Oh man,
because I'm like I like single player story modes, and when games
like
started
theatrical,
going, So like I'm excited when they come out with, I think it's Fallout 5 or Grand Theft Auto 6, like the full feature game.
Sure.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy whatever system it's on, and I'm gonna get that game for 1 month. I'm gonna play that game.
Sure.
And then once I beat it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go back to my normal life.
But
But I always
$700 game. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's worth it for that month. But at the same time, video games for me, when I play them, like I always just feel like a piece of shit when I sit there for 3.5 hours and play a video
Really?
game. Yeah, I don't get that.
You don't feel productive at the end. You're like, why did I do this? Because I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
you're not
even
doing
say
anything
productive,
that
but-
benefits you in the physical world, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like it's the mental thing. Like that's my escape.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I get that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But also too, community in it can be good. But when you play
all those 10-year-olds, you know,
dude, no, it's not even that. Like when you play online, let's say in Call of Duty, I'm playing online. You know, it's all about shooting or killing the other team for points and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all war based. You kill someone, you can hear what that person says as they die in the game. Usually it's pretty racist comments. It is ridiculous. There's a lot of racist comments. It's insane.
So I think that's like a new feature, right? That's something that they just recently brought up in the last couple of years.
Yes. In the last few years, it's a thing where you can hear them as that's going down.
I think there's a new one where it's like proximity where they're
correct.
around you, yeah.
Now, when you're playing specific game modes, if you're in if you're in the area of other people, you can hear them
Right.
like constantly until you're a distance away from them. Then it cuts out, but you can hear them talking, so you can interact with them the whole time.
Oh, like enemies and stuff?
like what?
Like if you're like near an enemy and they're talking, you can hear them.
the
So
whole
it makes
time.
you like, you're like kind of have to be quiet while you're playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can hear, you're like, if you hear somebody, you go, okay, I'm close to somebody.
Or you're like friendly,
that's,
And you're like,
that's dope.
I heard someone put a video online. They started playing like some scary child singing like 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And they're like, no. And it just freaks people out. But yeah.
You know what that reminds me of? Back in the day when me and David used to be really into Halo. The first Halo.
Aaron just got the new one. He wanted to do a day for me to come over, and we just haven't made it happen yet.
Dude, remember the LAN party we had? Parties?
God, yeah.
Dude, so, okay, two different stories here. Two
Was
different
it 4
stories.
Xboxes or 2?
So what we did, we would go to my house or we would go to somebody's houses. And main one I remember is my house. And we were in the garage. We'd set up 2 tables and we'd have everybody would bring a TV. We'd have 4 TVs facing opposite ways.
So you couldn't
So 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
So you couldn't watch anyone else.
Exactly. And we were, dude. And you're just sitting there talking mad shit.
It's so great, isn't it?
So great. Because you could just like look over and be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, I remember doing like Comp USA LAN parties. Did you ever go to one of those?
No, I
with
never
us?
went to one of those.
Dude, they had everything hooked up. They'd had like 20 computers in the room. We'd show up with like 15 people and you just play, and they had all the games. So every game they sold was loaded into these computers. And you just go and you'd be like, what do we play first? You got your chips and your fucking Mountain Dews.
first? Well, dude, right out of high school, me and David moved in together into a house with a couple other people. And,
Were you
and your
guys
dad.
happy together?
Yeah, we were great, you know.
Did you guys?
You know, after a while, it goes away. I mean, this was 20 years ago. But, but no, we had this house, and I remember, was it you, David, that went up into the attic?
Yeah, I ran LAN cables to all the living room and the 3 bedrooms through the attic. So we had 100-foot cables running through the attic, drop down into each room, so everybody could hook up and play in their own rooms.
Yeah.
How
And the yelling that was happening in that house, like
You have
it's
people
insane.
storming down the hallway. Fuck you, man.
I love that.
That was my sword.
Yeah, those were the days.
But that's what comes with it. There's that camaraderie. It
Right.
brings people together. You get to banter back, like give shit to each other, right?
Right.
And there's some competitive nature to it, right? Like, and so to me, I hold on to that stuff right there. Like Halo, like you said, that's where it began with me.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I don't
That's
like
really-
online gaming is because
Yes.
I came from LAN parties where everybody's there and you're physically talking shit to the
Correct.
person right
Yeah.
in their face. And then when it's online, someone's talking shit to you like, you're like 12.
Yeah, I know.
don't know
Yeah.
you. Why are you yelling at me right now? This
Yeah.
is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
And
but
the fact that these 12-year-olds are just so racist.
oh, get this, not based on the racist thing, but
I was like, got a
but
story?
yes, it's insane because people will do things knowing that you don't know who they are and you don't know where they live, and they'll say things.
Anonymity.
The anonymity. When I first moved to Austin, I saw that GameStop was doing a tournament, and if you won this tournament or won this first round, you could go to the bigger tournament to potentially win a new Jeep,
Oh,
a vehicle. Okay. I was like, I got this. I got it. Hey, babe, I'm going to go to GameStop and play a game.
BRB.
So I went there and I showed up and there was like all these little kids. I'm like, dude, I got this in the fucking bag. They can't even drive. Fucking
Their mom's sitting over at the Macy's.
You're done. I'm going to own you. And I crush everybody.
No,
okay?
you were out first round.
No. I crush everybody. I make it to the last round, and it's 3 of us. Me, it's 2 other fucking children. These fucking little guys. Okay.
Fucking kids.
fucking kids.
Fucking kids. I got second place. This damn kid beat me by like 1. I was so upset. This kid, he couldn't fucking drive. I'm like 23 years old, and this kid beat me, and I never made it. But I got like a $60 gift card, to GameStop. But I was so upset.
That's a big drop in prize.
It is. But I was like so sad. I was like, I got this in the bag when I walked in, and I don't know what happened. I froze. I wasn't doing it.
Got the yips.
I just didn't. I lose sleep every night.
I was like, after this podcast is done, he's gonna go punch a hole in the wall right now.
Yeah, but that's how into it I am. Like I talk with people, that I don't talk to regularly because of games. Like I talk to them there. I talk to my wife's cousin more than she does when I play with them online. Like we have more conversation. To me, it's a separate life. It's another connection. It's another outlet. And it's something that's been growing throughout the years in terms of entertainment. People are making tons of money streaming. There's tournaments and competitions, big money. One of my companies I work for, we made a team together and we did a tournament where we won money internally with the company. Like there's other teams and we played a Warzone tournament and we got first, right? Like, so there's so much.
You're like, I was the best.
Yeah. It's just something I look forward to. And it's something that disconnects myself because I'm really into like movies, right? Anything that takes me out of the real world for a bit that might be artistic, entertaining.
Well, it allows your brain to relax and recover. Cause that's one of the things that people don't realize. It's like you have to recover your brain. The same as like
100%.
if you do a hard workout the next day, you need a recovery day, an active recovery day where instead of, if I'm going to go out and run a half marathon the next day, I'm still going to go out and do a little workout, but I'm going to walk 6 miles.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and run again because it's going to destroy things. So your brain needs the same thing.
Yeah.
So like after a long day of work, you're like, I just need to shut down for an hour.
Yeah.
Just to let my brain, I'm going to use this one little portion of my brain to focus on this game. And then the rest of my brain's like, okay, thank God. All right, guys, let's fix everything he fucked up today.
Yeah. Right.
And then when the game's done, they're like, all right, we're good. We're good. We can go eat dinner and be a normal person again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of hobbies out there require money, like golf, paintball. You want to do anything on the water, like there's things that just require like funds to do. But you look back at when you're younger, and even if you have to find an outlet yourself and you don't have that ability, there's things out there for you to do. Right. But I feel like us as humans, you got to find something, an outlet, something different than the day to day that interests you. Like you got to do these things, because if you don't, you're going to go the monotonous same day, same lifestyle. You might not learn anything. You might not be able to escape what your regular day to day is.
Yeah. You have to have that. Otherwise you're stuck in your head about work, or the fact that I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching TV at home. So it's having that hobby or something to do to focus your mind and let the rest of your mind that you do your day-to-day shit recover, rest, basically turn off.
Yeah.
Is super important just for mental health and just genuinely being a happier person.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
I've had tons of hobbies growing up, and it always changes. And the old, here, open it.
Just open it. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. He's drinking a beer too. Let's go, baby.
Let's
Allies.
No, but you got to be open to little changes in your life. What interested me back then might not interest me now, right?
Yeah, we progress as human beings.
Like I love video games, but I know at some point the reality of my life, I might have a kid, my job takes over my life. I might have to find something else that takes up that part of me.
I highly doubt it at this point.
What?
That you'll stop playing video games. You might get shittier at them because you can't play as much.
I believe that might be a thing because you don't play as much. So that's the takeaway. Maybe I don't put as much time into it.
Yeah. Like that's me for running. Like eventually I'm not going to be able to run anymore, or run as far, or run as hard, or run as
I was
fast.
running.
I tried to hold it back. I ran for 3 years.
I'm pretty tired now.
I'm pretty tired right now.
Running is one of those ones that like people are like, why? I don't get it. And I'm like,
yeah, what are you running away from?
I don't get it either. Like some days I hate it, but I do it. And then I feel better after. And I'm like, I'm glad I did that.
And it's the release of dopamine, man. It gets you going. Gets the people going.
It gets the people going.
That's a release of something.
Yeah.
Pent up energy.
I mean,
it's nice when you're really pissed off at something that happened at work and you're just like, motherfucker. You go run 5 miles and you're like, fuck that guy. It's not that bad.
Dude.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
I'm so glad you said that, David. That is one thing that I appreciate, like any outlet in terms of physical activity, is you can be so pissed. So you're just done with life, the work day, whatever it is, whatever's happening. You go for a run, you go to the gym, you just, whatever it is you want to do physically, I'm going to chop some wood. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Oh, chopping wood is fun.
Dude. But you do something like that, I can't explain it. The release afterwards, man,
No.
it is so worth it. It is so worth it.
Yeah, it's those problems. And that's one of my big things is like when I sleep, I'll wake up in the middle of the night on a day where I didn't do anything that day. I was a lazy piece of shit, watched TV with Maria, had dinner, nothing. Go to sleep, and then I'll wake up at 3 and be like, oh God, I text that one person. I didn't send that email. Oh, I got to do these 5 things.
You're one of those
5 things then. Yeah. But then
when you wake up, is it hard to go back to bed? Most times, like
not particularly. Sometimes it is like if I didn't walk that day. So I didn't take the dogs out for the walk in the morning.
Yeah.
I didn't take them for the afternoon. So I do a whole day where they just maybe I'd take them over to the school, which is like a couple 100 yards, let them run around for a half hour and come back. Then I have a lot more issues when I sleep, going back to sleep or not thinking about work. But if I go out and I do a ruck for 4 miles in the morning, I come home, I do another 3 miles with the dogs, make dinner, watch 1 hour of TV before I go to sleep, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, I didn't do that. Who fucking cares? And then I just go right back to sleep.
I think if you have a plan, I feel like if you feel like you're becoming unorganized or you're outside of your schedule a little bit, that's where the mind goes. But I feel like as you get older, the more responsibility you take on, that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it also might be when I get up and I do those things early in the morning before I go to work, I'm more productive at work. So I don't have those things to think about the next night. Like,
Sure.
I'm not like, oh, I didn't call this person because I already called them or I sent that email. I didn't forget about it or push it off for another day. I'm like, well, it's 9:30. How am I going to kill 6 hours? Guess I could do my job.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. And so that's propelled me to where I am when I started this job and then moving all the way up. I think that was one of the key things is when I started here, I was already running. I was already doing short races and then working towards, I think it was that first year was like right when I started this job, I was like, I'm doing a half marathon at the end of January and I started October. So I was like, I got 3 months to train. And I pissed off October because I went to a wedding and that was in Costa Rica. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
But then when I got back, I trained through November, December, and January, ran my fastest half marathon. And then I was like, finish that. And I was like,
what's a full marathon?
26.2.
26.
Yeah. And the half's 13.1. Just 13.1.
You gonna throw one of those stickers on your
Just-
truck or what?
No,
Yeah, you one of those people that
13.1
have
is
the
like,
sticker?
that's like the embarrassing sticker. I'm like,
Dude,
come on.
for a long time, I had
Like,
no
I don't
clue
even wanna
what
put a
that was.
50K on
I thought
there.
it was like a radio station that people were promoting.
Oh,
Like
I-
13.1.
Yeah.
I thought it was
The
like,
Eagle.
I thought it was something to do with the Bible.
Oh
It
yeah.
was like,
Oh, yeah.
John
Yeah.
13:1. I'm like, okay.
John
Stone
3:16.
Cold Steve 316. Stone
Yeah,
Cold.
but the first one I would even consider putting on my car would be a 50 mile. Like,
Well, that's what you were going for this year.
yeah, that was the plan till
Yeah.
the knee.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll have enough time to train. I may be able to get to the point where I can finish one, but I'd like to be able to run one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up to 31 miles, little bit of walking towards the end of that, but not too bad time wise for what I was going for. Finished right in the middle of the pack like I had planned on it because first entry, that's kind of where you're going to be. But yeah, the 50 would probably be next spring if the knee is good when I get back from this hike. That's the plan.
Right on.
Start training for that shit, which means I actually have to get up at 3:30 or 4 because it's hot as balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's disgusting outside in Texas right now.
Oof.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, so ready to kind of put a bow on this guy?
Yeah, I think the final
thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts right here is, I think it's important to have something that you're focused on a day-to-day that keep you sane. There's going to be moments when you might be out of that schedule and you're just doing your day-to-day work, monotonous, same thing each day. But there's a really important piece to having something outside of this day-to-day. Keep you focused, keep it interesting, to keep you energized.
To allow your mind to take a break.
Correct.
And to have fun.
Yeah.
You got to allow yourself to have fun.
Escape,
Running's not fun, but
escape from reality.
your mind shuts off.
Yeah,
Everything shuts off except for where the rocks are.
But your woodworking's fun. There's a lot of fun that comes along with it. And, in adult life, it's kind of one of those memes, right? Like, oh, adulting, don't recommend, right? But in adult life, we have every opportunity to do whatever the hell we want. There's a lot of fun things to do out there. Don't limit yourself to just work,
Fiercely
Sleep.
masturbating.
fiercely masturbating, fiercely masturbating, fiercely masturbating, fiercely masturbating,
Then bed.
then sleep,
Yeah.
then wake up, fiercely
Fiercely
masturbating.
masturbating.
That way you can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just don't want to find yourself in that. There's a lot of fun things out there. I'm on my journey to find fun things for myself outside of this podcast. It's definitely one of those things that you gotta work on. Work
Quick
for yourself.
before we go,
Yeah.
we need update on your journey so far for 5 days.
5 days. So for the 5 days, I've cut out all sodas. So no sodas at all.
Yep.
I have tried to cut out as much sugar as possible.
What does that mean?
So meaning I am eating, I have an air fryer. I've had an air fryer for 3 months. I've never used it until 4 days ago. Use that. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's so easy. So eating chicken with some, seasoning, and then having some green beans, mixed vegetables and such. Mornings I'll have eggs and a sausage patty. Eating smaller kind of meals throughout the day, all low sugar, because I feel like sugar is probably one of the.
It's good, but it's also really bad.
It's incredibly bad.
It's
for
addictive.
you. It's so bad for you.
There's a lot of scientific data now proving that
sugar's causing a lot of cancer. It's causing, obviously
as I
diabetes
poured
and
a ton of Coca-Cola
yeah.
into my whiskey just now.
Yeah, but it's so easy.
It's really bad.
Could just switch to Coke Zero when you drink those.
I could.
But that's the thing, right? So trying to cut that out. I know 2 podcasts ago I talked about.
I thought you said Tupac.
I thought that's. I thought
Did
that's
you hear that
yes.
too?
Yeah.
Jesus
2
Christ.
podcasts.
I love you, mama.
2 episodes ago, I talked about, we did the challenge of doing 5 miles in a week. Today's the 5th day. I've only done 3.
But that's a big change, though.
big change from not doing anything at all.
You need to look at that, the change that you've done.
Right.
I know you're looking at yourself being like, oh, I haven't hit the mark of what we set myself for. We're not even there yet. We're 2 days prior to what we set you.
Right. Yeah.
2 days from now.
We said, well, what we said on that episode was 3 pounds by this time.
Correct.
But we're also 2 days ahead of time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
last week we were 2 days behind.
So where are you at right now in your weight?
So I was at 402. I'm at 401 now.
Okay.
So 1 pound.
That's a win.
It is a win.
That's a win. Yeah. And I love your dedication to this.
You never know, because you could have been having a skinny day when you weighed in the first time, and then you're having a fat day today, so you could have lost 4 pounds.
But also,
but you're just on because my weight fluctuates about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But people get really distraught when they plateau, when they're like, oh, nothing's happening. And I talked about this earlier with you, and you got to have the right mindset and be like, I'm going to continue this. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. You're making these changes, which I think is very difficult because you're used to a certain schedule. Mm-hmm. You're used to doing things a certain way, but now you're changing it. Continue.
You know what the best part about this is? And I said this in our group chat that David ignores all the time.
I read it 6 hours later when I got home.
Yeah.
But what I said in there is I love how supportive and I love how positive this group chat is, because you guys have been, honestly, you're starting the same journey essentially with me to lose weight. David, you're doing your rucking thing. You're doing
rucking and I started keto. So you're not doing a diet by yourself. Like I'm not going to continue eating all the shit I was eating and being like, you need to do better. Right. And then eating bullshit.
So I think the most important thing is with this is the support system that you surround yourself with. So if anybody's out there listening and going through this journey with me or doing your own thing, find support. There's people out there. They want the best for you. They want you to be better. Heck, if you're solo dolo, email me. Email us.
That's right.
I will be here for you.
What's our email?
Email is theriseofbasicmen@gmail.com.
Tell us about your story. Tell us what hardships you're doing. Tell us how much maybe what we're saying resonates with you or how we can help you. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of these 2 fine gentlemen in front of me will probably answer it.
Because David
I've never even opened it.
Check it. You will not hear from David.
I will definitely open it. I will always check it. I will always respond. Also, with that, once we'll get some social media stuff up there in future episodes. We'll get that all tagged in. But we will be, at least I will. That's my thing. I will be accessible to any of our listeners that want to get in touch with us.
Yeah, I think the takeaway here is we're doing this for ourselves, yes, but in the end, we want to be able to hit a note with somebody else out there, whether it's our hobbies, whether it's our mindset, right? What we've been through, and being able to honestly better ourselves in the long run, right? So if you, like Chris said, if you have any questions, you want to tell your story, reach out to us. But honestly, until next time, keep rising, keep inspiring, and remember, your story matters.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Take it down.
These fucking little guys, okay?
Fucking kids.
Fucking kids.
Fucking kids.